Hey ladies, Victoria here again, trying to get my camera in the right spot there. So, welcome to day 3 of the training. Let me move my chair out of the way. I was just sitting in it. So today we're going to talk. We're going to continue with our what I've been talking about over the week about tips about weight loss, and also want to share sort of recap what we did already. Let me move that down a little bit more. Recap what we did already. So I've told you that weight loss, we think, this happened to me, we think, hello Sarah, I'm so glad to see you. Thanks for popping in. And yes, if you're here, let me know. I love to see you in the to see you chat, and I know that you're there. And, it makes me feel like I'm talking to somebody. I'm not just talking to myself. I know somebody's out there. Anyway, so weight loss transformation formula, and with featuring 31 sneaky ways to reduce weight without a diet. That's the name of the program that I've created and the coaching that I do about that. And I'm on a roll. I'm on a mission. I'm on a roll collecting women who desire to lose weight, and my mission is to have 100. I want to help 100 women reduce weight without a diet. So let's go back and we talked about labels, and one day I said read labels just to see what they say, and it's just so you see what you learn. Yeah, if you're here, please tell me in the chat hello so I'll know you're here. Anyway, so that's reading labels. I talked about that, and then I talked about yesterday I gave you a link to some calorie counting apps for you to just consider how many calories your body burns, how many calories. Hello Stephanie, good to see you. For you to just see what you're eating, and when you input those calories, what do you learn when you input the food you've eaten? What do you learn from that? So it's like the label thing that I talked to you about, and I just want you to see what you discover, because that's what happened to me. I'm doing these things one at a time, making them up, and as I research, I'm like, will that work? Let me try that. And I adopted the ones that worked, right? Adopted the ones that worked for me. Okay, so then I talked to you about 3 truths, and the first one was, how many calories does my body burn anyway? That, to me, that is like, wow, good question, right? Good question for us all to ask. And then, of course, there's no, hello, Charlotte, Sophia, good to see you. And, there's no one answer. It kind of changes, but at least we have a ballpark. We can figure that out. And I told you on day 1, I put a link in the file on how to sort of figure that stuff out. Talked about fitness watches. And then, oh my gosh. So then I talked about, so the first truth was how many calories our body burn, and the next one was, hey Sarah, love it, oh my gosh, love that Sarah, eating, yes, so true, exactly right, thanks for the comment. It's like, yeah, how many, exactly, can go on and on about that one. Anyway, then day 2 talked about we inherit the way we eat. So, it's not really your fault. That's what I want to say is, hey, it's okay. You come by this naturally. It's not like, it's just the way you were raised, right? I was raised in a Southern house. I talked about that, and some of you talked about the kind of foods you were raised with, and they generally weren't, even though they were supposed to be healthy, they were filling for sure, but they weren't necessarily healthy. So we talked about that. So today, well, the funny thing is that when we didn't get to eat those foods, hey Melody, good to see you. I loved your comment. Her mother made like mashed potatoes with noodles and cream and beef. Something that was just like, wow, mashed potatoes and noodles. That'll fill you up, right? It will give you energy or make you go to sleep. I'm not sure which. But anyway, the point is that, that's why we just have to rethink if this is how we would really choose to eat. If we got to choose starting now, would this be how we chose to eat? We've learned to eat that way, and we can unlearn to eat those ways that are unhealthy. It's That's all it comes down to. So, the third truth is really where the rubber meets the road. That just means where the whole thing really is about the foundation. This is the third truth. And so I started thinking about this 2 years ago, or it's been longer than that now, but when I searched over those 2 years and I was researching and searching and trying this, that's when these kind of truths came to me. The more I read, the more I started thinking in different ways about weight loss and food and the whole thing, how we think about it as society. Well, the third truth is the most impactful of all, and this is where I can get emotional about this, and I'm going to share it with you, but you'll understand when I share it why you could get emotional about it too, right? It's just one of those things. It's big, so I'm putting it in two parts, and so I call the second part of the third truth, which is in two pieces, I call the iceberg. And so, depending on what science you read, because I've seen it in different ways, it changes. But the tip of an iceberg is what you can see. And the iceberg, the tip is about 10 to 15% of the actual picture of actually what's going on underneath. So I call this the iceberg. So today I'm going to talk about the top of the iceberg, the 10 to 15%. It's what we see with our eyes, what we can experience with our bodies. So this is that I named this talk, this post, "What does it cost you?" Because this is how I started thinking about it. So the iceberg, when we're heavier than we want to be, at the top of the iceberg, these are the things we see. Our clothes don't fit. We experience low energy. I've had 2 women that I worked with say they wanted to keep up with their husbands. Their energy is low and their husband has high energy, and they've said, I want to keep up with my husband. And one of them said that her husband always kind of complained about her low energy, like, we can't even go for a walk before, and you have to sit down on the bench, or we have to go sit down somewhere so you can rest. And that just infuriated her. And she said, you know what, I've got to have more energy than him. That was her goal, is to have more energy than him. So anyway, but that's what I'm saying, we get low energy from that. And then we don't want to look in the mirror. We don't want to look in the mirror. We know we don't look good. I mean, I don't know how many times, how many people have said that to me, I don't want to look in the mirror. I don't know, ladies, I felt the same way. I'm not judging that at all. I'm just thinking how it's like, what do we think? When I think about it, it's like, well, who do we think we're fooling? I mean, we look like we look. I guess we just, it's hard. You don't want to look in the mirror and see yourself. So yeah, don't want to look in the mirror. Now think about this. If you don't want to look in the mirror and you're dressed for something and you want to see how you look, but you don't even want to look, imagine, do you want to see yourself naked? No. And I remember all this. I experienced all this. The last thing you want to do is see yourself naked. You already don't want to see yourself fully clothed. So now I don't want to see myself naked because I don't want to see all that fat. I don't want to see what has happened to my body. It was too frustrating. Okay, enough of that. But listen, when you don't want to see yourself naked, it also affects your intimacy. For those who are interested, I know some people in the group are like, I'm over that, whatever, my husband's passed, or, whatever, I don't care. But some women really are. And the truth is, it affects your intimacy. When you don't like the way you look, it affects that. I cannot tell you, the women, their husbands say how proud they are of them, how happy they are. And I love that, because it seems to me when I hear those comments that it's because the women are happy. When you're happy, y'all know that. When you're happy, your husband is happy. When you're happy, he's like elated. He's like, whoa, my, she's acting like all joyful and, energetic today. They love that. But anyway, it can hurt our intimacy. This is the price we pay. And then think about this. You don't want to dress up in any kind of formal wear. So I don't know how many people I've had, we got a high school reunion coming up. I'm not going. I'm not going. Maybe they'd like to go and see some of their old friends. Maybe they wouldn't. But if they do, they're not going, right? Because they don't want to go. They don't want to be seen like that. And then one that I've probably gotten, I don't know, 3 or 4 times in the last couple of years is my daughter, my son, my granddaughter, my grandson. Somebody is either graduating college or getting married, and they've got to dress up, and they don't want to be seen looking like they look. So people reach out to me and they say, "Oh my gosh, can you help me in a year?" I've got 1 year. The whole thing. I could go into that. That's and so then you got to scramble around and try to figure this out. And you know what that makes us do? Y'all know. Go on a diet. I can go on a diet. I'll just go on a diet. I have a friend right now who just did that. Went on a diet. Lost all this weight. And what is her biggest concern? How she's going to keep it off. That's what she's constantly. This is a friend of mine, so I do not coach her. She's, it's anyway. Point is that she's constantly saying, "What am I going to do, Victoria? What am I going to do?" And I'm like, "Well, what do you think?" And I give her some suggestions. She'll go, "Oh, I don't want to do that." And I'm like, okay. But anyway, she's just going to stay on this food program for the rest of her life. She goes, "Well, my husband doesn't care if I stay on it." And I'm like, okay, you can eat those same foods. Your freezer's full of them. But anyway, all right. So then it's like, I've got to tell you a funny story. Speaking of her, I got a better funny story for you. I knew a woman, this is before my weight gain, before my menopause. I knew a woman who was, 20 years ago. And she had been married and divorced. And she had gained weight. Since her divorce, she gained about 30 pounds. And so she and her husband, former spouse, had joint custody. And so she said they would have to, she didn't say, I witnessed it, so they would have to trade off the kids. Sometimes it'd be at the man's house, sometimes it'd be at the wife's house, the husband and wife, back and forth. But she never wanted him to see her. So she would go to great lengths not to have to be the one to drive. Now, if the husband dropped him off, she could just be somewhere else, and he didn't, they didn't hang around and talk to each other anyway, so they didn't care. But if she had to take him to his house, she didn't even want him to see her in the car because she was afraid he would come out and say something, and then he would see she was heavier than she wanted to be. And so she would bribe you. That's why I remember it. She'd be like, "Will you take my sons?" And you're like, that's how I found out. I'm like, "Why don't you take him? I don't understand what's going on. He only lives 3 miles away." No, I don't know if he ever saw her. And she never. I'm thinking, "Why don't you lose weight?" And I said, "Well, why don't you just get rid of it?" She goes, "It's too much trouble." She wasn't ready. Okay, so that's a funny story about somebody I used to know. And then now you're heavier than you want to be. So do you have to buy new clothes? I didn't fit in my bathing suit. I definitely had to get a new bathing suit later. I'm going to tell you about that. I'll tell you about that. That's in my story. But anyway, so do you fit in your clothes? If not, then you're thinking, okay, do I buy new clothes? Do I buy one size up? And my story I told y'all, I resigned myself that, okay, this is what my body likes to be. I'll just go with this, which meant I had to buy a bigger size clothes. But what happens when that bigger size is not enough and you have to go again, right? Okay, do you buy those clothes at a secondhand store? Because pretty soon you're going to be where you want to be. Or do you buy them new and give all your old clothes away? What do you do? Right? That was a dilemma I was facing. I can tell you. Anyway, all right. Here's a fact that I read in my research, and you can look it up and see what you find. But here's a fact that really bummed me out. Okay, but it was a truth, and I knew it, so I had to, I was like, okay, I understand what's going on here. Many women, if we are, I was with you, if we are the type of women who gain weight at menopause. Hey, Teresa, good to see you. If we are Aw, Sophia, don't buy you clothes. I'm with you. Let's just fix this. But anyway, I got lost in that because I got so excited about that. So, I want to tell you, yeah, this thing. Okay, so I did research. You know, I can't say it enough. So I think you guys got the point. I was serious about this. So what ended up happening was I discovered that women who gain weight during menopause, if you're that person, which most women are, I think it was something like 60%. If you're here, you probably are. The point is, they gain between 1.5 to 5 pounds a year. So it's not like, in the beginning you're thinking maybe it's going to go away, maybe I'll plateau somewhere, but I didn't find that to be true for me, and that's when I started freaking out, right? Something's got to give, right? But think about that. In 5 years, let's just pretend like you gain 2 pounds. I'm just making it up on the, like 2 pounds. In 5 years, that's 10 pounds. Okay, I could probably still wear most of my clothes. I might have to buy some new skinny jeans or whatever. But anyway, but think about that, ladies. We go through menopause anywhere from 50 to 60, somewhere in that frame. That gives us 30 to 40 to 50, whatever years of gaining 1.5 to 5 pounds, whatever it is. And that kind of explains to us, right, why we see so many older women who are heavy. If they just keep gaining and keep gaining, the body changes all the time. And if we just keep packing that on, that's what's going to happen. Now that was a really stark realization when I found that. I looked that up. That's why I know it's like between 1.5 and 5, because I looked at lots of sources, because I'm like, tell me more, tell me more, tell me more. I was trying to find, is that really true? Okay, so most of us are perimenopause or menopause or postmenopause or wherever we are. And so we don't know how to stop it. I didn't know how to stop that weight. And then the other thing, what does it cost you? At some point you stop getting on the scale. I don't know about you, but I did. I don't need to get on the scale to tell me I'm too heavy. I already know that. My clothes tell me. I can look in the mirror. I don't want to, but I can see my bathing suit doesn't fit. I know I'm too heavy. Okay, so let me tell you that's some of what it cost. I'll tell you more about that tomorrow. Let me tell you my aha moment. What happened was, for some reason, I don't know why, I forgot that I was heavier than I want to be. I don't know why in this moment. My excitement took over. But a couple of girlfriends reached out to me and said, hey, we want to go on a beach vacation, just girls, 3 of us. We have, anyway, I don't need to go to the backstory. So I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, let's do it. So excited. Ladies, I assure you, I still to this day don't know why it did not occur to me to try my bathing suit. It didn't. I've got a beach bag, just one bag that's full of, it's got my bathing suit in it, it's got my beach towel in it, it's got my flip-flop, anything for the beach, the suntan lotion, all that. I never go in that bag unless I'm going to the beach. I never even grab it, right? It's just in the closet because I know everything I need is in it. Well, why did I not look at that bag before I left? I still don't know. I mean, it's crazy. Okay, so you can imagine what happened next. I get to the beach. I'm with 2 friends I've known for forever, for years. They haven't seen me in a while. It's obvious I'm heavier. But when I put my bathing suit on, I put it on. I forgot that I was heavier until I put on my bathing suit. Even though I knew it full out, for some reason it was like completely, don't ask me how that happened. Okay, I think it was a God thing in the end. That's kind of my joke, because when those things happen to me, it's usually like something's wrong. Something's going on besides that. Okay, so we're at this place, this Echo Lodge. It was an Echo Lodge, all, hippified. Could be like massages and meditation, that kind of thing. But the beach is really the big pool, right? Natural pools. I mean, all this gorgeous. Friends, it was great, right? Anyway, get there, put on a bathing suit, and realize, oh my gosh, I can either wear this bathing suit or not go to the beach. And my friends were like, come on, we're going to the beach, come on. The whole time they're pushing me, come on, come on, come on. I'm like, what am I going to do? So I put my bathing suit on. I mean, I was hanging out everywhere. And I put on a cover, I have a cover up in that gym bag, so I had that, and I thought maybe I can just leave this on the whole time. I mean, it was still obvious I was heavier, but at least they couldn't see everything hanging out. No one else on the beach could see either, right? Well, anyway, ultimately, you're not going to spend that many days at the beach and never get in the water. So finally, I was just like, bite the bullet. And, no, my bathing suit doesn't fit, but I don't want to stay out of the water. I'm dang hot, So anyway, that was when I became the desperate woman who said, you got to find the answer. And this is where it gets a little emotional for me. So that's when I started researching. I'm not going to get attached to that emotion. I'm going to share with you what happened. I was desperate because it was important to me. I knew diets didn't work, but I knew something did. Something. And by golly, I was going to figure it out. So, friends, here's what it cost me. All this that I've shared, but also I know who I am, right? I know myself like you know who you are. I know who I am. That's why it's like crazy I forgot that bathing suit piece. So I know how I love to honor the body. I've been like that for many years. Like, I just think the body is an amazing piece of equipment that we've been given, and that's why I think it's so important that we take care of it. Those kind of things started hitting me then. I was like, I got to do something. I'm dishonoring the years that I have been given. God has given me this many years. I don't know how many more years He's going to give me. But I want to be respectful of myself, of this body, and of God by living in a body that's as healthy as I can make it, right? So I knew I had to find the answers. And I knew to find them, I had to be that woman who I was not being in this moment. So I got this vision. I do meditate. That's part of what I do. So I got this vision. And in this vision, there was a bridge. It was really cool. It wasn't a street bridge. It was like a rope bridge, right? But it wasn't a scary rope bridge. It was an okay rope bridge. So I got this vision of this bridge. It was so crazy. And I'm on this side of the bridge. And on that, and there's a side. Now the dip is a little, I could still see the bridge. The dip is a little like this, and then, there's on the other side, right? And on the other side is the woman who I need to be. So, she's calling me. I had to find the answers. I'm sorry. Okay, so the point is, I found these answers. I want you to think about whatever works for you, whatever analogy works for you. Is it a woman? Is it you? Is it the real you? Is it the you who knows you're better than this? Right? Is she over there going? Because my woman was. And I took that bridge one step at a time. 2 years it took me. 2 years. But I got there. So anyway, I want you to consider, what is it costing you? Sorry, I'm emotional. That story's really hard for me to tell. But I want you to think, what does it cost you? What is it costing you? And I'm going to share some more tomorrow. I'm not going to we're going to leave it like that. For now, I just want you to ruminate about that a little bit. What is it costing you? Okay, so let's move on from my emotional self. Thank you for indulging. I did my best. Let me say this. We're going to talk about the tip for today, which is one of my 31 sneaky ways. And just for today, and it was really funny because Linda, one of the group members, put in there, does it matter what I eat? You know, she was just talking about, just in general, does it matter? And then I think a couple of people, you know, gave her responses, including me. So the point is, thank you, Sarah. The point is, just for today, become a vegetarian. Now, if you're like, oh my gosh, Victoria, I already got, you know, something laid out for dinner, that's okay. Or I already knew I was going to lunch with my friends, that's okay too. You can do it tomorrow, right? Or you can do it Friday. But just one day. In my 31 sneaky ways, every tip is just for one day. There's only one tip. 30 of the tips are just for today. There's only one that's repeating. It's kind of the foundation for the whole thing. Okay. So that is today's share. I know I appreciate you indulging me, but I want you to think about what is it costing you. The title that I put in here. I want you to just notion on that, and then I want you to today. Well, if it works today, fine. If it doesn't, tomorrow, just become a vegetarian for a day. All right. It's just a little bit of mindset work is really what all this is. Okay, friends. Take care, and I'm so glad you're here. Anybody have a question for me? Thank you again, Sarah. I appreciate you saying that because that was kind of tough. If you don't have any questions, you can. We'll go, and you can put any questions you have in the chat, and we'll answer them there. Thank you so much for coming, ladies. I'll comment with you in the group.